Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 3 of the lesson 20 walkthrough. And what we're going to do is just review this really quick before we go ahead and add the loops for our target and for our obstacle. Let's click run. You can see the knife is traveling from right to left. You saw the donut traveling. But note that they only move in that one direction and then that's it. That's not much of a game, so we want them to be able to loop back to the right side. Let me press the space bar and make sure the guy goes up. Yep, check it out. My crewmate is jumping up into the sky. All right, so now let's go ahead and figure this out. Let's take a look at the looping section. This is level 6 now on lesson 20. So let's try to find the loop section, which is right here. Awesome, it's in the draw loop. All right, so now let's take a look at what this says. It says, if the obstacle has gone over to the left side of the screen, move it to the right-hand side of the screen. Okay, well, the obstacle in this case, again, is the knife. That's what we're trying to jump over. So let's do, they give us a hint again. They start out with if. So if, let's find something that's a little bit past the screen. So let's say if the knife, okay, if the knife, now no, it's the X value, right? Because it's the horizontal value. So if knife.x, okay, is less than, let's pick a number that's again beyond the screen. Let's pick like negative 100. Okay, so if knife.x is less than negative 100, we want him to move to the right side of the screen. Okay, well, let's just make him do that. So let's bring the sprite back. So knife.x, we'll bring it to, I forgot where we had it. Let's just keep it at 500. Okay. Awesome. Now what we want to do too is create some kind of, well, let's just check. Okay, let's click reset and run. Let's see if the knife goes back to the other side. Yeah, there it is. So there's the knife right there. Okay. Although the knife seems to be stuck at the same spot. Same height, and looks like it's the same speed. So why don't we go ahead and randomize the height and randomize the speed as well. So if the knife, okay, goes past minus 100, I want the knife.x to go back to the right. I want the knife, okay, .y to be a random value. And again, we picked the, what is it, 200 and 325. If you don't remember, if we go back up, that's 200 and 325 for the variable for the knife where it actually shows up. So now let's see if it randomizes the height, okay? There it is. Yeah, it's a different height now. See, it's a little higher. Doesn't just break, like just barely hits the top of his head. It's a little bit above his head. So now look, it's moving from different Y values and so forth. Perfect. Perfect. But you know what? That's not enough for me. I think what I want to do is at some point when we're coding this, I want the knife to actually disappear once it touches that sprite right there. Okay, so one more time, I want the knife to actually disappear. Okay, well, let's just make sure that the sprites are actually cropped already for me. So then when they collide, yep, they are. So when the sprite, when the player touches the knife, I want it to disappear. Okay, all right, so let's do that. Well, let's worry about that later. Let's actually get the donut to move first. So, okay, so now let's go. If the target. Actually, you know what? We don't even need to do this. Let me show you guys the easy way. Let me just go ahead and copy this, right? Go back down to here, paste it. And then I'm just going to switch this to donut because the variable is the only thing that's really different. Donut. There we go. Now let's see if the donut actually does it too. There it is. Awesome. But you know what? Look at the speed of the knife and look at the speed of the donut, right? It looks like they're about the same speed. They're not really changing too much. So we might have to go ahead and add another sprite block right here for the knife. And then the velocity x, we want it to be random again. And I think I had this random -5 and -10 right here on line number 20. Right there. Okay, so let's do that same thing over here on the knife velocity. So this would be -5 and -10. Cool. So let's check that out. Let's see if it changes speed. So there's the knife. Okay, it's moving pretty fast. A little bit slower. A lot slower. Awesome. Hey, like it's actually doing what we want now. Let's do the same thing for the donut. Okay, let's do the same thing for the donut. Sprite velocity x. In this case, it's the donut dot velocity x. We want that to be a random number value. So let's plug that in. I think I had this at -4 and -8, I believe. All right, let's take a look. See, okay, so the donut's moving kind of slow there. Let's see if it's any faster. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit faster. Okay. Now, if you really want to check to make sure, we can open up the debug console right here, and then let's take a look at donut dot velocity x. Okay, let's add that. Okay. So look, it's changing. So sometimes it's -7. Right now it's -7. -5 now, so it's moving a little bit slower. Awesome. So I know that it's actually changing values right there. It doesn't seem like it, but it's definitely switching. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Let's take a look at what else we need to loop. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. That's all we need to loop. The target and then the obstacle. Right. Let's move on to the next one. Sprite interactions. This is where we start to actually get them to collide with each other. Okay. Because we want the knife to decrease the health. We want the score for the donut, right? When they touch each other, I want the score to go up. All right. Let's see. But I do want, okay, so let's talk about this again. It looks kind of weird, right? Because normally when you're playing a video game, whenever the player touches something or picks something up, it disappears. So I kind of want these things to disappear when they do touch it. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay. So that we're on the sprite interactions right now. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, so if this player touches the obstacle, the health goes down and the obstacle turns. That was the original thing. Okay, but what I want to do is just make it go like this. But instead of the obstacle turning to let it know that we've had a collision there, I want it to disappear. So let's try that. Another if block. If the crew, okay, actually here, let's find this block right here, is touching. There it is. So... okay, so if you're not comfortable with typing all of the code yet, you can just find the sprite block right there, okay, and then drag it over there. Now again, if the crew is touching the obstacle, in this case it's the knife, what do I want it to do? I want the health to go down. Well, I already have a variable of health right there, so let's just make it so then the health, whatever the health value is at that moment, is actually subtracted by 1 every time that they're touching. So health, okay, -1. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. Let's get that knife to hit us. Yo, look at that. The health is going down every time that they're touching. Now, again, I kind of don't like it just kind of breezing through the sprite right there. I still want it to disappear. Oh, look, we even got a game over sign. So that's awesome. Our game over code works. All right, one more time. I'm on line number 34 and 35 right here. Okay. So let me go ahead and click right here where it says sprite.visible. So what this says again is if the crewmate is touching the knife, the health goes down by 1. I also want the knife to go ahead and disappear. And in order to make it disappear, I want to say false for the visible block right here. All right, now let's see if that works. Let's get that knife to hit the crewmate. Here we go. There it is. Look, it disappeared. But hold on. Well, look, the health is going down, but I can't see the knife anymore. But at least I know that the knife disappears when it touches it. Oh, look, the health went down again. So all we need to do now is actually make sure that the knife reappears again in the loop. But where would we put it? Okay. Well, we would just put it right here because we want the knife to loop back around. Once it's looped back around, we want it to be visible again. So let's grab this, okay, and say knife.visible is true. What that's going to do is it's going to bring the knife back to the right side of the screen, off the screen, and make it visible again. All right, let's try it. There's the knife. Let's see it touch it. Oh, okay, good. And see, like, it reappeared again. Let me touch it again. Does the knife appear? Yep, there it is. Like, I can avoid it now with my little space bar. So sweet. Now, I want the donut to kind of do the same thing. Okay, I want the donut to do the same thing, but let's finish coding this. This one says, if the frog touches a fly. Well, that originally, again, was the code, right? Or the sprites that that code.org had actually chosen. But I redid it because I wanted to use my own sprites. Okay, so really what this means is if the crew, right, touches the donut, in this case, oops, sorry. If the crewmate touches the donut, then the score goes up, and then the fly resets. Okay, I don't want the fly to reset. Again, the donut resets. All right, so let's try that. Okay, so one more time. If, they already gave us a hint. It says if the crew is touching. Okay, so let's grab that block right here again. If the crew is touching, okay, this diamond is the donut. Okay, the score goes up and the donut resets. All right, let's take a look at variable. Again, I already have a score. It's line number 24 right there. It starts at 0. So let me type in score. And I want it to go up, right? So score plus 1. All right, let's click reset and run. Okay. Well, here's the thing. The health goes down. But I can't tell if my score is going up when I'm touching the donut because the score display isn't actually shown right there. Let's use a debug console. Okay. Score. Let's see and watch the score. Looks like there's a score right now. It says 44. Let me hit that. And then it went up to 61. Let me hit it again. It's at 77. So it does work. We just haven't displayed it yet. So perfect. Our code works for now. We just have to now make sure that the score shows up. Awesome. Let me click finish. Let me click continue. All right. And we're on the last part. This is the side scroller for the scoreboard. Okay. I'm going to have to actually split this into another video. So this will be, there'll be a part 4 actually. This is part 3 already. Again, at this point, it's almost a game. We just need the score to be displayed right there. I want to make sure my items actually disappear. So the donut needs to disappear as well. So I'll have you guys kind of figure that out. Okay. And then I'll see you guys in the next video.